your case. Tell us why you should keep those bonuses. You can't get a $3.5 trillion budget passed without some salesmanship. President Obama started that selling in earnest this morning. Another member of the sales force joins us now. Congressman Joe Sestak, Democrat from Pennsylvania, returns to our program. Congressman, always good to see you. Thanks for being back to us.
Good to see you, Stuart. Thanks.
Now, forgive me, I've described you as a salesman for the budget. I do hope you don't mind me saying that. But I want to zero in on two items where I think you've got your work cut out for you to make them stick. Number one, I want your response to the idea that we're going to restrict the mortgage tax deduction for wealthy people. That would seem to me like a very hard sell to get that through. What's your feelings?
Here's my feeling. Back 10 years, in 2000, the top 1% of wage earners in America got 10% of America's income. Today, they get 20% of America's income. We're still going to let them deduct it now, but only 28% is all we're going to let them deduct it instead of 35%. That's not a lot when they've gotten a 100% increase in their income.
I take your point, but the mortgage interest deduction is pretty much sacrosanct, and a lot of people feel, well, okay, you take it out of the hide of the rich right now, but you'll come down the pipeline. Okay, reaction to number two, where you're going to cut back on the deduction for charitable deductions, again, for the wealthy people.
I am a bit concerned about that one, because I've looked into this in some detail. My concern is that where most of the impact is going to be actually will be in college endowments and other larger areas like that. I am very conscious of that one there. The reason I am is, and this is what's really great about President Obama's budget, he's not only trying to get us through this storm, but when we come out of the storm, we've got to be a better ship of state, is trying to recreate us, retool us with a much more erstwhile educational program, particularly for those bound for college. And we don't want college costs to rise. And so I think we have to watch that, and I think a little more analysis needs to be in it. We do want to make sure we can get some revenues back to help to pay for this so we don't have an overriding deficit. But overall, remember that what's most important about this budget, healthcare, energy, and our educational prowess for the future. We've got to retool ourselves, just like the steel industry did in recent history, to compete again.
I'd add one other factor, wealth redistribution. That is at the core of this budget, and now you approve of that. I can tell you thoroughly approve of that. Yeah?
Well, I have to ask you, Stuart, did you approve of the wealth distribution over the past 8 years?
It
did go one way. Remember, the top 1% went from...
It had nothing to do with government action, and I don't want to see America become more like Europe. Sir, I'm a refugee from that kind of social model, that kind of engineering of how much you're allowed to earn and keep. I don't want to do that.
But, Stuart, I have to disagree. Over the last 8 years, where there was wealth distribution, which you supported, it was the result of government intervention with the tax policy.
No, sir.
A tax policy that gave 53% of all tax cuts to the top 10% of Americans.
The tax cuts had something to do with it. So too did technology, so too did globalization. Had an awful lot to do with that trend, which I agree, that was the trend. But if you want to reverse it and make us more like Europe, I've got to tell you, Congressman, you've lost me.
But, Stuart, one other thing. It isn't just what you call wealth distribution. Remember that by 2022, 82% of all jobs in America require a college education. And right now, today, unless we change the cost of college and or the aid to college, over 3 million American men and women will never go to college. So it is not just about what you call wealth distribution by government. He's trying to re-energize the ability for us to be a more productive economy with an educated workforce. One last point, health care. We lose $100 billion a year, every year in productivity because of our 46 million uninsured Americans here. We've got to fix that for the growth of our economy.
It's not health care, Congressman, it is health insurance. But we've got to save that for another day. And, sir, we really do appreciate you being on this program.
Good to be back, Stuart.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
All right.